Oh, every morning I rise, stare at the snowy air. Lift up my spirits, I'm blessed going. Sometimes I'm lost and far from home, but I find my way. I follow my heart, I know I'll be found someday. While I'm lost, I learn and live. What do you say? Let's have a good time until that day. Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. Oh, it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the
And a very, very, very special good morning to all of you. Hey, you. Yes, I'm speaking to you. It's time to tune into Youth and Vision. Auntie Dia is on your radio right now. And I know that you know that I have an exciting show for you every Saturday morning. So if you're just waking up, you know what you have to do. You know what our routine is every Saturday morning. Grab your cup of bush tea or chocolate tea, whichever one that you prefer. Time to do some stretches and just wake up because it's a beautiful day outside and we are so grateful to still be in the land of the living. So it's just a time to be happy, merry, and focus on the positive. So, good morning to you, those of you who are connecting with me wherever you are. This is Youth and Vision, and I am your host, Auntie Dia. And we know that Chronics always helps us to start off our morning's show every time. And we like to ask. I love asking because it's so amazing to just ask. What are you grateful for this morning? That's our first section of our show. We always start with an attitude of gratitude. And last week, Saturday, you learned that when you have an attitude of gratitude, it could actually change your life drastically. It could make you even a healthier person. Okay. So, what are you grateful for this morning? This is always my first question on the show. What are you grateful for? Those of you who are tuning in on Dear Learning Academy YouTube, post a comment. Tell me what you're grateful for. Those of you who are tuning in on our Facebook page, ZDK Liberty Radio 97.1. What are you grateful for this morning? I'd like to get some feedback from you, or you can always call in. You know, there's always that option. Tell me, what is it that you are expressing gratitude for this morning on the 27th of February? My, February is about to be over in a day, okay? So we made it to 2 months already in the year 2021. That's definitely something to be grateful for.
Oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. Yeah. Lift up my eyes to this, I'm blessed only.
So every morning we're gonna rise, we're gonna stare at the sun. You know, hey, it's sun. That is something we are grateful for. We have free vitamin D right here in the Caribbean. Okay. A good doctor friend of mine, Dr. Humphreys, good morning to you, says at least half an hour of vitamin D a day is extremely good for you. Okay, some of us are afraid of the sun. We want to have umbrellas and all that good stuff. Come on. The sun is good for us, okay? So at least half an hour a day, you can walk in the sun, walk in your yard, enjoy some blue skies and sunshine. Those of you who are waking up with me now, if you're an adult and your child is still sleeping, you need to go poke them, and say, Auntie Dia is on the radio. She has an exciting show lined up. I have another guest this morning. We're going to be having a very good discussion. We're going to go a little bit back into history. You know, we're going to have a good time. It's Saturday morning. We have just about an hour to do this. So it's time to get connected. I'm still asking you, though, for the next 2 minutes, what are you grateful for this morning?
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright
Okay, so
inside.
my friend there, Jarius Timothy, says, good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning. He says, blessed Saturday to you and everyone. Okay, good morning to you, sir. And he says, I am grateful for health, strength, and breath to breathe every single day. As simple as you think that might sound, that is excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Sorry. I'll tell you what I'm grateful for this morning. I am always grateful for my family. I'm always grateful for my friends, my church family. They are amazing. Good morning to my church family, Miracle Ministries International, wherever you are, if you're hearing me. Good morning to you, Sister Paul. He said, I heard you on the radio last Saturday. Good morning to you, Sister Polly, and I hope you're listening again this morning. But I want to tell you what I'm truly, truly grateful for this morning. I'm going to share this with you. Those of you who are connecting with me, hurry up, connect. I want to tell you what I'm grateful for. So, about 3 years ago, this year would have been 4 years, I embarked on this journey to write a book. Okay, I embarked on a journey to write a book, and I'm thrilled to say that the book is complete and it will be published the Sunday, the 7th of March. It is going to be published. So it's actually now available. The name of the book is Walking a Two-Way Street. Walking a Two-Way Street. And the subtitle is Examining the Both Sides of the Story Before Making a Decision. Examining the both sides of the story before making a decision. I don't know. Maybe I'll give away a free book at the end of the show. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see how I feel. Okay. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful that after 3 years, almost 4 years, I did not give up, and the Spirit of God was able to strengthen me, to sustain me, to continue. And I'm excited to know that it is now coming out. It's going to be shared with the world. So those of you who are interested, you can check it out. It's on Amazon. The name of the book is Walking a Two-Way Street. The subtitle is Examining the Both Sides of the Story Before Making a Decision. And that's kind of what we did last week, Saturday, when I had my guest there with me, Mr. Joseph, when we were looking at different sides of the story before we make a decision. Okay, so that's what I'm truly, truly grateful for this morning. And thank you so much to all of you who are connecting with me. Phyllis Marie, good morning to you, darling. I'm so grateful that you're still here with us. I'm going to keep saying that. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's a pleasure to have you. So we are we're about to switch it up a little. I have a special guest who will be joining me in a few minutes over the phone. Her name is Kishima Francis, and I pray that she will correct me if I'm wrong when she does join me. She's a 21-year-old who has a passion for God and serving others. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more about her and with her in a few minutes. She's a youth leader, a very young youth leader. So I want you to continue to stay connected because we are going to be sharing a lot of insight this morning. All right. But before I get into my special guest, when we call her over the phone, I just want to reflect a little bit because we're talking about Black History Month. And let's pay attention to her age because she's 21 years old. So I'm going to read about someone that I was waiting and hoping that I could share in the month of February about before it finished because we're still talking about Black History Month. And my person of choice is Papa Bird. Yes, Sylvia Bird. Okay, so I'm gonna read a little bit about him. Again, remember my guest is 21 years old, and there's something about him that he also did at the age of 21. Okay, so I'm gonna read a little bit of history here for our young people. Those of us who might not even know much about Weber, there's still a lot that we can remember about him, especially the revolutionary and innovative spirit that he had, and the things that he has done. So whether or not he's not been with us for years, we want to take a minute to just reflect on him this morning. So I'm gonna go through this as quickly as I can. Vere Cornwall Bird Senior was born on the 9th of December in 1909. The 9th of December, so he's a December born. The third of four children. He only had an elementary education in the St. John's Boys School. Anybody here who went to the St. John's Boys School? But he was a man of immense intelligence. Okay, as a teenager, he joined the Salvation Army, and at the age of 21, the same age of my guest who will be joining me this morning, he was a captain commanding persons older than himself. Young people, you have it in you, and you can do it if you put your mind to it and you use God as your inspiration. He was trained in Trinidad and he served in Grenada also. On the 16th of January 1939, he was elected to the executive of the Antigua Trades and Laborers Union. Still here today, still very much prevalent here today. On the 26th of February, which is actually, yesterday was the 26th, in 1940, when the Antigua Trades and Labor Union received its legal status, he was confirmed as an executive member. Okay, 3 years later, in September in 1943, he was elevated to the post of president of the union. So 3 years later, he's already promoting. In the same year, he gave the workers a public voice. He gave the workers a public voice with the emergence of the union's newspaper, The Workers' Voice. Okay, I like this. A year later, so I want the workers in Antigua and Barbuda to remember that you have a voice. You still have a voice. A year later, the union won the principle that a worker could not be dismissed without compensation. So those of us who do not know where this came from, a little bit of history here to help you. In 1945, 2 years later, he was elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly. His popularity with the people of Antigua and Barbuda caused him to be made a member of the Executive Council in 1946. This man continues, he continues. In 1951, the union under his leadership, those of you joining me this morning, we're talking about VC Bird, established the right of the union to negotiate for the workers and for contracts to be signed with management. So he was all about the workers. He attended Caribbean trade union conferences in Trinidad, in St. Kitts, in, the famous Montego Bay Conference in Jamaica, and all of that good stuff. In 1951, the union representatives, led by V.C. Bird Sr., won all 8 of the elective seats in the legislature. Man, he continues. During the period of 1951 to 1956, he established the Peasant Development Scheme, under which people received farmlands and qualified for loans. He also pushed for housing, and in 1954 alone, 1,130 houses were completed under an aided self help scheme. Okay, so he was a man for the people, concerned about the problems of drought. We spoke about that about 2 or 3 episodes ago, drought in Antigua. He also, I'm lost in here. He ensured that a catchment of 8.5 million gallons of water was constructed. Now, this is what we're talking about when we talk about leadership. What is it as leaders do we want to be remembered for when we are set or appointed to lead a people? And VC Bird continued to do so much. In 1953 and 1956, he was a delegate to conferences of West Indian governments at Lancaster House in London that worked out the mechanics of West Indian Federation. So he continued to expand and do the outreach for not just Antigua, but also for the Caribbean. In 1960, good history there for you, young people, V.C. Bird Sr. was appointed the first chief minister of Antigua and Barbuda. There's somebody in my family born in 1960. I won't even say who that is. That's such a long time ago. Okay. During this period, he agitated for free government schools, so educating the people, and they built the Princess Margaret School in 1955. Princess Margaret, you've been here for some years, haven't you? Any Princess Margaret school alumni going on there? If you are, big yourself up this morning. Okay. And then there was a secondary school open on the 20th of September 1961 at Golden Grove. All right. After the West Indian Federation collapsed in 1962 and regionalism seemed to be disappearing as a distant dream, along with Errol Barrow of Barbados and Forbes Burnham of Guyana, V.C. Bird Sr. brought the Caribbean Free Trade Association into being at a conference in Dickinson Bay in Antigua in 1965. So 5 years later. This was the forerunner of what we now called CARICOM, Caribbean Community and Common Market. Yes, yes, yes. 1966, V.C. Bird Sr. led a delegation to the United Kingdom to seek independence for Antigua and Barbuda. Yes. And what year did we become independent after that? 1981. 1st of November, 1981. All right, V.C. Bird Sr. made public calls for a heads of government meeting, offering to host it himself in Antigua. In the end, sensitive to Jamaica's sometimes lukewarm approach to integration and anxious to keep the Jamaican government in the fold, he embraced the idea that the conference should be held at Ocho Rios, Jamaica, under the chairmanship of the Jamaican Prime Minister. So that is what you call giving and taking, trying to do what is necessary to promote Caribbean integration. And that is something I would love to see happen in my lifetime, to see Caribbean governments really integrate and work together, because there's so many resources that each island has that if we can pull it together, we could be so dynamic. But we have to first work as a team. Why do we not want to work as a team in the Caribbean? Why? Somebody tell me why. All right. So I'm just going to close off this and then connect with my guest this morning. In his long life, Sir V.C. Bird had presided over the transformation of his country, raising up his people and leaving his nation much better off than he found it. This is not a political announcement. This is just me recognizing the father of the nation for the work that he put in the month of February, Black History Month. Okay, so the spirit of this man, the vibration of him, the revolutionary ideas and everything that he kept doing. I remember a speech where he said, "We will eat weedy, weedy bush," and all of that things. Where is that passion in the Antiguan people? Do we still have it today? Just a question. Just a question. We're going to take this one from Justin Nation. He's actually Antiguan as well. He produced this song a few years ago, but it's so suitable. Have a listen.
Thinking of ways to make money. He's frustrated. It ain't funny. Fast cash might lose his life today. Think it's paradise. Put up trees and wrong heights. But everything around here not so nice. It's an up and down kind of life. All this hard work. All this patronized. You don't understand what life's beneath. Always hard work, always patronize. You don't understand what life is. Tú y yo en la lucha, jóvenes buscando un escape.
Trying to get his attention.
Tienes sufrimiento, acércate más.
Special good morning to Hester Stevens. Good morning to you, my darling. Hope everything is doing well. And my sweet little girl, Jola. Good morning. Good morning to you, Maria George. She's listening. I like that. Chantal D. Softwell. She says, Amen. Good morning, sister. Phyllis says, that's my Papa Bird forever. I love that man. Yes, yes, yes. I like to hear that. Yes. You don't understand what lies beneath. Special good morning to those who are considered to be living in the ghetto. I have a saying that you cannot understand what it is like to be from the ghetto. If you don't understand, you've never been there, you don't know what it's like. So don't judge them, okay? Don't judge the ghetto unless you know what it's like. You got to be in there to understand sometimes. Good morning to all of you who are listening.
I bet you think it's paradise, coconut trees and raw ice, but everything around here not so nice.
It's an up and down kind of life.
All this hard work, and all this sacrifice.
You don't understand what lies beneath. You see, this morning I want to talk a little bit. The reason why I spoke about Papa Bird and going back to that and the things that he did for the workers, and like they said, when he did that peasant thing, he tried to get people to get a piece of land, people to get certain things. And I think that sometimes we tend to forget the smaller quote unquote person. There are people within our society right now who are struggling, who are hungry, who are starving. Are we looking out for them? Are we spreading love and unity? Are we reaching out to these people? Are we trying to understand who they are and where they come from, what they have to do to survive? We have young people living there, being raised in that particular area, and their mentality is continuing to be the same because of the culture that is there. So are we thinking about the people in the ghetto this morning? Yes, I'm asking, are we thinking about them this morning? And can we reach out? Can we let them know that we're listening to them, we're there for them, we want to help them, those of us who are in a position to? Or are we just gonna judge them and look down upon them because we think that they're beneath us and stuff like that? We have a society that has the both sides, like my book says, both sides of the story, and we need to pay attention to both. Now, I'm just going to introduce my guest who's right here on the phone with me. I called your name, Kishima Francis. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Good morning to you, my dear.
Good morning. That's correct. You have the right pronunciation.
Ding, 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 ding. I'm an English teacher. I think I got this proper noun right for once. All right. So welcome so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show with me this morning. I know that it would probably be better if you were in the studio, but we know with everything, we just want to make sure that we still are able to share positivity. And technology is allowing us to do that. So I have a beautiful guest. Those of you who are joining me, if you're on Facebook Live, she has a picture up. You can see her. Her name is Miss Francis. And Miss Francis, before we called you, I was talking about Papa Bird, as we affectionately know him. And he did something great at the age of 21, which is the age that you are right now. It says... he joined the Salvation Army, and at the age of 21, he was a captain commanding persons older than himself. You are also 21 years old, and you are a youth leader with a passion for serving God and serving others. I like that about you already. She says at an early age, she developed a strong passion for community service. Ah, boy, a little VC bird there in the female version, and leadership. She has been an active member of her youth group for 9 years strong and a youth leader for approximately 6 years, and has served in numerous capacities over the years. She now serves as the PRO of her youth group, Lutheran Youth for Christ. When it comes to church-related activities and functions, she finds herself helping with the planning of events and or giving that everything goes smoothly. Very good. She's an active member of the Antigua Leo Omega Club, which is a volunteer group, okay, for young individuals who are between the ages of 18 and 30, where she engages in, again, community service, which she has a passion for community service and outreach programs to serve the less fortunate and those in need. Everything is just lining up this morning. This is beautiful. She's 21 years old. She has a passion for community service. We have a song by Justin Nation highlighting the hard work that is done beneath the surface that we don't pay attention to. And it's just all lining up. I love this. So tell me a little bit about the community service that you have engaged in over the years. Maybe even now, are you able to still do something to reach out to the less fortunate? Tell us a bit about that, please.
Well, over the years, I've developed a strong passion for community service in which I have done outreach programs at my church in which we go out to the community to serve less fortunate and those in. Recently, last year, I decided to join the Leo Omega Project to voluntarily work and give back to community. But because of COVID, some of the things that we would probably do and activities has had a bit of hindrance. Nevertheless, as we are still able to go out
Mhm.
and assist while following all the COVID protocols that
Yeah.
are already established.
Yes, and that is a very good thing. Again, as a young person who, again, has a passion for community service and taking up that role. Okay, I need to help somebody who has less than me. And it doesn't mean sometimes people like that have all or have it all, but just the thought of understanding where you've been or where you come from and then what it might feel like to be that place, and you want to reach out and help somebody else. That is so amazing, and for you to start doing that at such an early age is very, very admirable, and I want to encourage you to continue seeking ways to do that. She also mentions that she, in her spare time, she does a bit of writing and motivational quotes and encouragement. This is very, very, very important in this season because a lot of people are dealing with anxiety and fear and depression because of all the things in the news. I mean, sometimes people need a break, okay? And the fact that
That's
you
true.
are writing motivational speeches and quotes, it is an excellent thing to do, and I pray that you continue to do that. She has a Facebook page where she posts these quotes, and you can find it, and it's called Motivation by Kish 268. Motivation by Kish 268. So go like the page, and you can get updates with the motivational quotes that she is sharing. Do you have one right next to you right now that you would like to share with us? One of your quotes?
I can pull it up right now.
That would be so amazing. While she's doing that, I want to say a special good morning to Miss Bernadette. If Bernadette, you are late. Miss Bernadette, I thought you were not coming this morning. I'm being spoiled. She said, "Bless good morning, Auntie dear. A little late. Enjoy." I said you were late before I even read it. Yes, you're late. You had me waiting. I'm here grateful for everything. Yes, and God's blessings. Special good morning to my sister Nikisha D'Souza and my sweet boy dear Cario. Good morning. She says, "Bless good morning, Auntie Dia." Kelanda Burke, good morning. She says, "Good morning, Kish." And Shanta also says, "Good morning, Kish." So your friends are tuning on our Facebook page and they're connecting with you. Thank you so much for supporting her. She's an amazing young lady and she has information to share. So yes, tell me one of the quotes that you have, or two or three, if you
Okay, one
if
of the
you.
quotes I have is, it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, just the ability to triumph begins with you.
Could you just repeat that one more time? It was a little shaky. Could you say it one more time, a little slower?
Okay. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, the ability to triumph begins with you.
The ability to triumph begins with you. Triumph is the name of my daughter, by the way. So I want her to all.
Wow.
I'm gonna take that quote and teach her about it every day. The ability to triumph is within you. It doesn't matter if you come from the ghetto. It doesn't matter if you come from the other side. It doesn't matter if you come from in between. The ability to triumph is within you. Okay, so deep down on the inside, you are already built for success. I love this one. Do you have another one? Do you have another one?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Okay. You are destined for greatness. Do not get distracted in this season.
You are destined for greatness. Do not get distracted. You know what? She is speaking life this morning, and I love this. She is speaking. I think I might start using your quotes on the show every morning. If you have plenty, I'm gonna start using them and adding that to the show because that's something we want to do. Is to motivate the young people and to remind them it doesn't matter what the season is, as long as you have life, as long as you're still there, there is hope. So a lot of us should be planning, what are we going to do after this thing is over? How are we going to navigate? How are we going to do things? What are we going to launch? For example, I'm actually launching a book in a week or so. So what are you going to do? Don't get distracted. Life is about ups and downs, like Justin says, What are you going to do? Don't just sit there and be depressed. Wake up. Do some jumping jacks. And let's get to this. One more, please. One more, please. You're on fire this morning.
Let me just pull that up.
Yes, please, please, please.
I have the next one. It says, I pick up separate each day and of results.
Okay, could you repeat that one more time?
A little progress each day adds up to big results.
This one is short and precise. A little progress each day. Okay, can you repeat that one more time? I just blanked out for a second there. A little progress each day could
A little progress each day adds up to big results.
adds up to big results. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I quote you correctly, okay? And again, for those of you who are just tuning in and joining us, I am live here with my dear friend, Kishima Francis. She's a 21-year-old youth leader. She's doing a great job in terms of having a passion for the less fortunate, community service, a passion for God as well. Young people have a passion for God. That is amazing, And then she is talking about something else that she shares that is so important for us in this season, which is motivational quotes. You can check out her Facebook page, which is Motivation by Kish, which is KISH 268. And you can connect with her, okay? You can connect with her and the quotes that she's sharing. She just gave us 3 of them, and I think they're excellent quotes. They are very inspiring, so you can always check them out. She is also a youth advocate and enjoys reaching out to young individuals in any way possible. Now, being a youth advocate, do you actually have a foundation in place, or that is in the making?
It's in the making.
Okay, if you need some help with that, I'll be happy to help you. All right. She recently has adopted a young individual within her community. Charity begins at home, girl. I like that. Where she helps to tutor her and assist her with schoolwork and assignments. Especially right now, that is so necessary because I know the parents are having a hard time with these children. But you are doing your little part, and like you said, a little progress each time, a little bit. Like they say, one on one fills a basket. We have Miss Kish Francis with us this morning, Motivational Kish 268. Check out her Facebook page. Let's switch up to the next song because it's all about talk, information, music, youth perspective, right here on Youth Envision, ZDK Liberty Radio. Is it possible to take it from the top with the words? This one is from Jaron. Jaron, there, and he's a Trinidadian. And that song is kind of counteracting with the one I played before, where Justin Nation highlighted what is happening in the ghetto. And now Jaron, JJ, I'm doing all the J's this morning, also a local, well, Trini, but still within the Caribbean spectrum. He's talking about, producing positive music, which is what I have been saying from the time I began this show. Producing encouraging music for our young people, and some of the things that they listen to everything, because everything is just right there in their faces. Long ago you could hide things from children, but now you can't. So we have to try to be mindful the type of music that we promote and we publish and post and whatever we want to call it when it comes to our young people, or what they could be listening to, what we want to feed them with. And my guest this morning, Miss, I'm going to just call you Miss Kish Francis, Motivational Kish 268. All right, again, check out her page. She is also sharing some motivation, some positive energy. She's a youth leader. And we need more like that, within the ghetto, outside of the ghetto. We need more of that. And this is the message that Jaron is bringing forth this morning. So we're enjoying that song. Those of you who want to check it out after, you are free to do so. The name is Jaron. Yes.
Friend them down in the ghetto. This one is just for you. I beg you, just play more positive music, cause that's the one my friend them fighting for. Good man, it's cause cause them. It's cause cause they man. You was really the last one talking about cussing.
Wow.
That's why you preach. That means listening to everything you say.
Like, can you just pause that there for a minute? This is the introduction to the song that is about, again, that I just spoke about. And if we listen, he's giving us the message, okay? So a particular person, he sings and produces music with bad words, and then some young boys, they were walking while they were sitting by the side of the road, and they started cursing bad words. And he was saying, youth man, you cussing bad words. So we kind of live in a time where we want to tell the young people, don't do and let me do. So we cuss the bad words in front of them. We put the bad words in the music that they listen to. And then when they start spreading bad words or speaking bad words to each other, we want to tell them, you can't do that. Could you play that again for me? Mr. Trevor, thank you so much. You're amazing. We're going to listen to it from the top.
This one is just for you. I beg you, just play more positive music, cause that's the one my friend them fighting for. Good man, it's cause cause them. It's cause cause they man. You was really the last one talking about cussing. You for that. You gotta practice when you preach. That means listening to everything you say. Oh Lord, make me talk to them, cause my them boy. Talk to them. My journey, God alone, I walk with me. Okay. I'm not promoting. You could have been one thing. None of what they want. Not ready like ready for the shelly. Sonic say, watch your friend now. Because me friend up and a friend killer. Why can we just live like brother? Let love one another. Make the others better. So we don't want to leader. Make them back come out and be.
Why can't we just live like brothers and sisters, looking out for each other? I mean, come on. We should not let money and these things separate us and say we are class this and class that. We need to just, let love be the language amongst our people. If it's one thing that we learned from this pandemic, is to love. Look out for somebody. Ask them, did you have something to eat today? I have some sardine and white rice. Hey, that's what I have. We want some of that. Where is the sense of community? Where's the sense of love in this place? Come on, we're going to share this morning.
So what you friends we are linking with, then we need you to your gasket. I love some talk with the mind and tell them this positive music. Let them gun and slow them roll. Tell them take it easy and rise up and we're not tall. For the pop and clean jazzy, I love it, make the whole place better. So we know what I want young leader. Make them back come out and be a pressure. Why everybody wanna be a sasa? You know I just, you know I must.
So I'm dancing, I remember last week or some time ago, my friend said to me, "You need a partner to dance with." I love my ladies who join me on the radio every Saturday morning. You guys are amazing. So I'm going to go back to my guest and get some more out of her. I'm also continuing to read her bio where she speaks a bit more about. So after she does all the community outreach and that thing, she also is actually a very talented young lady. She enjoys playing the steel pan. Kudos to you, young lady. You play the steel pan. I don't think I'll ever play that. So she plays the steel pan. She likes hanging and socializing with friends and singing, just to mention a few. Okay, so tell us a little bit about playing the steel pan. Was it difficult for you to learn to play the steel pan, or tell me a bit about that?
When I first started just in 2013 to play the Japan, I began in Czech.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of young people and members of church play Japan, and I just told myself this is something I should try
Yeah.
and go into because it's very fun. But at first, it was a bit difficult for me. It was actually my first time playing, and I had very little knowledge in music. But eventually, I caught on to it, and I was able to perfect it.
And that is excellent. We are so happy that you didn't give up. And like you said in one of your quotes, a little bit of persistence is very good. So we like that about you. Also, you said that you like to socialize and that kind of thing. I'm just gonna finish reading your bio and then I'm gonna ask you to say one more thing because we're clocking down with the time. We always clock down when the time is so fun. She has recently completed her studies at Abbott Antigua and Barbuda International Institute of Technology, where she has earned a degree in business administration. We're looking forward to a business from you, young lady. I'm going to tell you, you need to open your own business.
Yes, that's
She
right.
goes by the saying, we all have various strengths and talents, and we as a people should always look out for one another, gain knowledge from each other, and be our brothers and sisters keepers. Well, maybe that is your closing remark. Man, you just hit it right there. So good. I don't really know this young lady. I met her on Facebook. I've never met her in person, and reading your bio and all the things that you have described that you are part of, I just want to let you know that I'm very proud of you. And to take a stance at such a young age, I want to encourage you. And like you said, to keep pressing, keep on working, especially to help the less fortunate and to promote that kind of community development. And you will definitely will be going places. So I'm going to back it up a little. You said that you like socializing. However, that has not been possible to an extent for us for the past year or so. So I just want to ask you before, we leave, what has it been like, not being able to socialize the way that you would love to? And do you still keep in touch with your friends?
Okay. Definitely, I do be in touch with friends. People are able to socialize, like, so it happens. I still do keep in touch with them to have Bible studies. Because, I engage with have discussions. So that has been my way of connecting with them as opposed to us always physically socializing because that is no longer allowed
Mm-hmm.
in many places. So we still do connect via the social media platforms as well as using Zoom and other platforms. So
All right. So that is the benefits of using technology to be able to do that. Thank you so much, Miss Francis, for joining me this morning. I am really, really excited and happy that you decided to say yes to the invitation. And I hope we can bring you back sometime again to follow your progress and all the great things that you're doing. And as I said, I just want to encourage you to keep on going. We have a few more minutes, so you can stay with me on the show until I close it off completely. I just want to go say good morning to all the people who are connecting with Youth and Vision. Special good morning to Joel Challenger. who is also the founder of the Candid Hub. You are connecting with us as well. We are spreading it internationally. So special good morning to my brother there, Joel Challenger. Thank you so much for connecting. He says, great work you do. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. We want to spread the positivity. And of course, my darling Bernadette is making up for being late this morning. She says, we are proud to be born in the ghetto. We have made positive impact to the building of this nation of Antigua and Barbuda. A lot of us contributed to and are assets to this country. I like that. We have preachers, lawyers, contractors, builders, teachers, musicians, bakers, store owners, vendors, and fishermen. I'm going to say all of them. And women, doctors, seamstresses, tailors, calypsonians, printers, painters, street cleaners, poets, writers, boat builders, athletes, cricketers, footballers from the ghetto. What you mean? Holders of bachelor's and master's and doctorate degrees. Ghetto people excel. We might have those who fell along the wayside, but so too is all the other village. Let me tell you something. Miss Bernadette, you are amazing. Thank you so much. You are amazing. And I want to say, based on what she said, young people, it doesn't matter where you're from. And Kish also mentioned that in one of her motivational quotes. It doesn't matter where you're from and what your circumstances are. You can make it happen. And for those of us who are able to produce music, let it be motivational, let it be inspirational to our young people, let it encourage them to keep persisting, continue to press on, continue to work hard. Because if you do that and you don't give up like she didn't when she was trying to play the steel pan, you are going to be successful. And what I would like, Miss Bernadette, is if we can get some of these people that you mentioned to maybe come on the show and encourage the people or the young people who live in the ghetto. And also maybe to start different programs. Miss Francis, you can do that as well, to have maybe like a mentorship program where we can have these very people who came from the ghetto come and encourage, let them know I was where you are and I was able to do something. I was able to use my circumstances to do something great, and so can you. I'm going to tell you why this is necessary. I had a chance to teach some children from the ghetto, and I asked them to write a composition. And the things that they wrote in that composition, it broke my heart, because the young people are being raised in a culture that whatever they see around them, they're going to model it, and it's going to continue to happen. So this is why we need those who have survived it, those who have made something out of themselves, to give back of your time, half an hour, go back to the ghetto, minister and talk to the young people. Let them know that you are a sense of hope for them and that they too can become like you. Okay, so this is my message this morning, and I'm just going to read back the ending of Miss Kish's bio with her philosophy, where she says, she goes by the saying, we all have various strengths and talents. Young people, I wanted to hear this morning. We all have various strengths and talents, and we as a people should always look out for one another. Always look out for somebody. Okay, look out for somebody. Gain knowledge from each other. And I mentioned that we have to be open-minded to learn from each other and be our brother and sisters keepers. This is from Miss Kishima Francis. She was my guest this morning. She's only 21 years old, and she already has a passion for God and serving others. What are you doing this morning? How are you helping out? Those of us who are leaders in different parts of the society, whether from the church, whether, in politics, whatever, those of us who are leaders, what are we doing to encourage and to help the young people? What are we doing? All right, so let's continue to listen to the song for 2 more minutes, and then we're going to close this off this morning. Make the boy come out and be a pressure. Why everybody wanna be a sasa? I don't know what this, they want this. When the big children, my press. I'm just having so much fun here this morning. They're looking at me dancing or whatever I'm doing. If it's not dancing, I don't know. I'm enjoying the song. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. Maybe this is my little morning workout. Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's do something. We want to boost our immune system, and we want to make sure that we are healthy. Yes, amen, amen.
music, let them gunman slow them roll. Tell them take it easy. The rise of the murder toll. For the pop drinking jazzy.
All right, so I just want to again say again, special good morning to Joel Challenger of the Candid Hub. Thank you for connecting with me. I'm sorry that we got connected when the show is almost finished, but we are back again next week, Saturday at 8 a.m. by God's grace, so we can do this better the next time, okay? But you have to wake up early. Wake up 8 o'clock. This is a morning show where you wake up with Auntie Dia. Remember, we are continuing to promote youth perspective, what the young people are saying, what they should know. We spoke about Papa Bird this morning. Read up a bit about him and the ways that he was able to do so much for Antigua and even the Caribbean. And what are you going to do as a leader, as a future leader? Start planning in your head. What problem do I want to solve? What solution do I have? How can I make my community or my country a little bit better? You know, ask yourself these questions. And those of us who can't, let us motivate the young people. Let us inspire them. Let us encourage them. And how am I doing my part? Like I said this morning when I started the show, I'm very grateful that I wrote and completed a book. I did not give up even when I wanted to. It took me about 3 years to write this book. It's called Walking a Two-Way Street, examining the both sides of the story before making a decision. So you can check it out on Amazon.com and let me know what you think. Thank you so much for joining me. I am your host, Auntie Dia. Thank you to all my people who connect with me on Facebook, Miss Bernadette, Miss Maria, Miss Felice, all of you who always join me every Saturday morning, and Jarius there from Dominica. Good morning to you also. Special good morning to my darling baby Triumph, to my pastor, Prophet Trevor Grant. Special good morning to my mom there in New York and my sister, Des Aya Beauty, and my brother and my sister right here in Antigua as well. Good morning, everybody. Continue to enjoy the rest of your day by God's grace. See you next week, Saturday. Bye bye.
Why can't we just live like brother? Let love one another. Make the place better. So we don't wanna young leader. Make them back come out the peer pressure. Why everybody wanna be as us? I don't know answers. They want this. Only big children, white dress. Never come on my stress. When many have fun to leave one life. Fight your hard. Don't be as no bad. Telling me they have be on and get you. This is what I tell you. When you are all in the ghetto, take some positive to and something good to you.